What is going on, everybody? Happy Saturday afternoon to you. Hope everybody is doing wonderful. I didn't know if we were going to do a video for today, but as you can see, we got a couple of returns that came in, so I figured let's go ahead and have a little bit of weekend fun here and open up a couple of envelopes. So, we're continuing on with kind of a nice little streak of luck here. We've had some really cool returns this week. As I always do, I kind of took a look to see, based on our stamps here of Raleigh, North Carolina, and Philadelphia, PA, to see what we got. And I think today we're going to have some flavor of maybe a little bit of NC State Wolfpack and maybe a little bit of New York Mets flavor. Let's see what we got here, though. So first up, I'm going to go with our one of Raleigh. So again, this is one of the newer returns, the self-sealed envelopes here. So I think now I've been using these for about 2 to 3 weeks or so. So it's a good way for me to be able to gauge what I'm getting. And all right, sweet. So what we are looking at here is a nice little return for the NC State Wolfpack. So for those of you that have seen these before, the Coca-Cola cards, this was put out by the Collegiate Collection in 1989. But they did several schools throughout the country. They put together some alumni sets. And NC State was one of the schools that they had done. And I've been working on this set now, gosh, for I would say probably last 5-6 years or so. Really been trying to work on it. And I had stepped away from it for a while and figured that with everything going on, let's go ahead and try and send out to some other people. And luckily here, Peter Coker, was somebody that I had done a little bit of research on and found what I believe to be a good address on him. So I figured, what the heck, let's go ahead and fire out a little letter here and see what we get. And lo and behold, we got a success. With this, I actually had included in an extra of each of these cards. So I sent out 9 cards all together. And what I said is, you know, hey, if you'd like, please keep one of each of the cards for yourself and then just sign, you know, whatever else you're comfortable with. And I think a lot of these older guys, they're really appreciative of this because I've had instances where these guys haven't even seen these sets, or it's been so long since they've seen these sets that it brings back some great memories for them. So I always try, especially with these here, to toss in some extras for the guys and let them certainly keep them. And it seems like they're very appreciative. So this is really neat. It's funny because I looked this morning. So this is about a 200 card set. It's actually a little bit over 200 cards because they did something really weird with this. When they released it originally, it was the 200 card set. And then they released an updated version of the set where they swapped out some of the players for different players. So like, for example, Cozell McQueen, who was on the 83 National Championship team, didn't have a card in the original release of the set. But when they re-released it, they actually swapped out another player for 3 different cards of him. I didn't know this for the longest time, and a lot of people don't know it. And what really kind of gets me is that I was actually at an event probably 5-6 years ago, and Cozell McQueen was there, and I was actually talking to him after the event, and I didn't even know he had these cards out. So I got him to sign just a European card I had of him. Had I known, that would have been great. But be that as it may, he is another guy that I've got on my radar, and hopefully I'll be getting a return back from him soon. But yeah, so this is a really cool set, though. Like I said, it's 200, probably closer to like 215 cards when it's all said and done. When you take out some of the checklist cards and like the Reynolds Coliseum and the cheerleader cards, and then guys that were deceased when the set even came out. You know, you're under 200. You're back under 200 cards at that point. And then with some of the people that are already deceased, it's probably closer to somewhere between 150 and 175 cards possible for the set. With these 3 here, that puts me up over 50 cards signed for the set that I know of. I may have some more that I just haven't been able to relocate. So good start for the day here. Very excited as a Wolfpack alumni myself to get those signed. So let's move on to our second envelope. So this one's out of Philadelphia, PA. No, it is not the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, contrary to what you may be thinking anytime you hear Philadelphia, PA. Yeah, I know that was kind of a bad joke, but I had to do it. So I know I have 2 outstanding returns or outstanding requests in the state of Pennsylvania. Based on this one, though, and the proximity of where it was going, I think I have a pretty good idea. And also another tip is, you see, this is the old lick it and stick it envelope. So one of the 2 that's in the state of Pennsylvania was a press and seal. So using my deductive skills, I'm pretty sure I know what this one is. Let's see if I'm right, though. I'm not going to give away what it is, though, until I kind of open it up and check and see. Yep, it is the one that I thought it was. All right, so we're going to continue on with some Mets flavor here. TJ Chisholm. TJ is a pitcher in the Mets system. And he was one of these guys that, for whatever reason, I kept missing him. This will happen to me sometimes with guys where kind of it's the nature of minor league baseball that sometimes you just miss guys on the way up, especially when you're only seeing teams once a year, like Binghamton, now the Binghamton Rumble Ponies. I get to see them for maybe, well, 1 definitely, maybe 2 games a year at max. So if a guy's hurt for that series, I'm out of luck with it. Savannah, I used to see Savannah all the time. Both coming into the area as well as going down to Savannah. So I was a little surprised I didn't have that card signed. And then St. Lucie, that's so far and so isolated relative to me. Florida State League, you just pretty much got to be in Florida to get to see these guys or know somebody. And then his Bowman card, had to go ahead and get that done. But TJ was a guy that, yeah, I just kind of missed all the way through. So all 3 of these are needed for sets. And then I actually didn't even have that Bowman card signed. So these are a couple of great ads, not only for my Mets team sets, but also just kind of my overall Mets collection. TJ took maybe about 2 weeks, roughly, to get back. And I love the fact that it is signed in blue. I do have a preference for blue whenever possible. When I first started doing autographs, I think, like everybody else, I started out doing black, just because that's what everybody has readily available, is a black Sharpie. But I learned that actually signing in blue looks a lot better. Maybe I'll do a video in the future, or maybe we'll get an example somewhere down the line of where signing something in black on a dark background really kind of makes it difficult to see. And actually, so if we go back and we look at the Coker card here, see, he purposely signed it down in here. Here, let me center that up a little better. He purposely signed it here where it was in the white. Imagine if he would have signed it right up here in that dark spot. You really wouldn't even be able to see it. But if it were signed in blue, you would have that contrast from the black to the blue at least. So the blue just tends to offset a bit better in general. Also, it's just kind of neat because blue is one of the primary colors for the Mets. So just kind of continuing on with the theme is always kind of neat. So for our day today, definitely a good Saturday. We got our 4 for 4, and I did send him 4, and he signed all 4. So 4 for 4 with Mr. TJ Chisholm. And then for Pete Coker, he signed 6 of 6 with me giving him an extra of each for him to keep for himself. So pretty darn cool there. So we added a total of 10 autographs for the day. Not a bad way to spend a Saturday there. So as always, guys, I really appreciate you spending the time to take a look at the videos. If you leave any feedback, comments on the YouTube channel, I definitely look at it. For those of you that have commented, I appreciate it. I always like getting feedback on the good, bad, the ugly. Certainly, we all like the good the best. But yeah, keep those comments coming. I read every one of them that's out there, and I'll respond back, certainly. And I really appreciate you guys checking out the channel. And enjoy your weekend, and we'll see everybody next week.